Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow. Gangsta this week was actually primarily focused on Alex, and not and it did have a little bit sprinkled in for Warwick and Nicholas and all of the other characters surrounding them. But more or less, it was more or less about the families and what they're doing, and it sort of branched out a little bit more, talking about that the anti-Twilight groups, that they are slowly starting to come back, and that they're attacking Twilights, and that they're trying to kill them in the street because of reasons unknown to me and other people. I guess the fact that they just don't like them because that they wear tags, which is weird, because really a lot of these, this is one of those things which actually really goes against their little bill, and I find to be a problem with the anti-Twilight thing is the fact that as the series went on, I thought that all Twilights were a lot like Nicholas, or a lot like or Gina Plunky or Doug or something like that, to where like that they are people who do have disabilities, but they also have like superhuman strength and power, even though you know that they do have to wear tags that give them like a specific number or something like that to pretty much gauge their powers, or they have to take these drugs to fucking survive. The thing is though, is that I don't see why there's such a problem. I mean, aside from maybe Nicholas and the others in which who I have mentioned, because they do work well as mercenaries, because they are very powerful and they are really good super soldiers. Problem with that is though, is that I don't get why normal people would actually try and fight them if they know that they have these abilities, unless it's the fact of that they just see this bill as a means to try and attack them, because they've attacked a lot of people, families, and everything. And of course, the series goes on to show that Nicholas and Warwick are actually helping out some Twilights, leading them over to the Club Bastard, where Alice is at, and she's calming the minds of the Twilights who go in there and everything, and she's helping them by actually singing about her brother, who that she doesn't really have any memory of. But as the series goes on, or at least as this episode goes on, you do see a dude who has the same skin tone as Alice, but wears a hood, and speculation would actually assume that is her brother, because he does hear her singing. He tries to go in. The bouncers, they say that he can't come in. They beat him up and they throw him into a nearby alley. And that's pretty much the gist of this episode. And it's sort of swirling around the idea of that Alice really can't remember her brother or her past because of the drugs in which that she has been taking, and slowly but surely, like, all that will be washed out of her mind, like once she gets over this drug and shit. Whereas Nicholas and Warwick are trying to help out people while also trying to help out all of the other families, while trying to help all of them out, and that every single person in these so-called families, they all have a purpose to helping out the Twilights. I mean, Gina forms the Gina has the guild. I forget the other old dude, the old dude who said that he hated Twilights. He funds the, I believe he funds, I believe that he funds like most of the shit. I forget what he funds. I think it's mostly the weapons and everything. Marco does the relations, and of course the little girl who owns this brand new family who runs Bastard, they fund the They fund the drugs and everything, the stuff that keeps all of the Twilights alive. So of course they have really good relations with Twilights to keep their business going. So that is how that goes. In this episode, it is really detailed, and it is actually really interesting, or at least for what they present, because, you know, it's still adding layer to layer to layer to this series. So really everything is going good, except for the fact that those two people who that Nicholas ran into the other episode, I mean, like at the end of the last episode, they do seem to be stalking Bastard, and that they are about to, and it does seem as though that they're about to go in, and that they're about to attack and kill all of the Twilights in there. So that is what I got to say about that. Please tell me what do you think about this down there in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next John Graves show. Please keep watching anime, keep playing video games. I'm out.